So a few days ago, several days ago, I found a Void Tower team for the Rares Only account that autos everything. They autoed 100, they autoed 99, which I think was the annoying Lydia stage. They did 90 and 80 alone without any interference from me. So next rotation, I'm going to start them from 1 and run them all the way through. But I feel like if they can do 99 and 100 by themselves, they're going to be able to do the rest of it no problem. So I thought what we would do is take a look at the team. I would show you who the team is, what their gear is, and then at the end of the video, I'll just let the run play, the level 100 full auto clear. I'll let that play in case you guys wanted to watch it. Maybe you get a kick out of it or something. But let's go ahead and hop over and take a look at the champs. Okay, so the team is Joseph, Rog, Charles, and Marion. I'm getting a lot more out of her than I expected. I thought she had kind of a cool kit, but she is proving to be really, really powerful for this account. She was also part of our Ash 10 clear that we got a few days ago. She is becoming a bit of a staple on the account, and I was not expecting that. I kind of slept on her a little bit, but that's kind of one of the fun things about doing this too, is you build up champs and sometimes they surprise you, and she's a good example. She brings a lot to the fight. So let's go down the list and talk about everybody in the team. Rog, I have done a guide on, and I will link to all the guides below. I'm not sure how many cards YouTube will let me put in a video. I'll try to card to all the guides for all these champs up in the top. If it won't let me card to all of them, I'll just put links below to each of their individual guides if you want to check it out and go into full detail about how to build them. But we'll do a quick rundown here. Rog is basically just shoot his HP up. And that's really it. You don't have to worry about crit stats. You don't have to worry about defense. You don't really have to worry about speed. All you really want to do is shoot his HP up. You can get a little bit of speed in your substats, but I would go HP percentage across the whole bottom here, okay? A little bit of focus so he can land his taunt is helpful, but I wouldn't lean real hard into the focus, just a lot of HP. He's going to be punishing enemies when they hit you or hit him, so any AoE enemies he's going to punish. Anybody that targets him he's going to punish. He's got real big damage on that A3. He's got self-sustain with his A2, taunt with the A1. Killer champ. We'll go way more into detail in all the guides on these champs, but let's see. Next, we've got Marion. Now, Marion is really, really cool. I have Marion on a revival set, and we went revival raider because I wanted her to be faster, one of the faster members of the team. You can see she's not incredibly tanky. She's decent, but we got a long way to go before she's fully where we want her. This lifesteal aura that she brings to the fight is what kind of lets us supplement a healer. Between that and the healing spell, we apparently have enough support to run all the way through Void Tower and not get hung up at all. So we've got an A1 defense down, which again is great for any bosses that you're dealing with or any other enemies that you're dealing with. You've got a really cool mechanic here on this where she puts a buff on someone that locks their health in place for 2 turns. So any damage or healing they take stores up in that buff. Damage taken is cut in half, while lifesteal effects are tripled. I'm sorry, not tripled, multiplied times 1.5. And you'll notice in the Ash 10 run in another video, for example, she would put this on Zachary when he was, at low health, and it would lock his HP in place. He'd take a few hits, give a few hits, and then when the buff would go away, his health would shoot up because he stole so much life from either proccing his trade or dropping his AoE or just hitting a lot of damage. It's really, really handy. It comes in really handy. That 50% damage mitigation is really useful, and then it just bumps up her lifesteal aura that she's bringing to the fight. And usually, I don't know that I've seen it. I don't know that I've seen the buff go away and someone's health go down. I feel like they always come out positive from this buff getting put up. It's really, really cool. And then on the A3, we've got a pretty decent smack. That's another thing I'll say about her. Considering I didn't focus attack or damage at all, she kind of slaps, dude. She pops people with that A1, and then when she does this, it's pretty decent. So she's got decent attack on her hits, pretty good damage on this, and then also heals the team member with the lowest health for 100% of the damage dealt. So that's on a 3-turn cooldown. So she's got a dedicated heal. She brings lifesteal to the fight. She's got protection with the A2, defense down on the A1. Super cool champ. Again, I went revival gear with her, and we just went speed, HP. If you want to try to get a little focus for the defense down, fine. But again, I wouldn't go too hard on focus. Joseph, another one on paper, you read it and you're like, hey, that looks like it's probably pretty good. He's so much better than he looks like he is on paper. He's so impactful. I have a guide I'm working on for him. I think it'll be up by the time I drop this video, so I'll card to that one. I don't think I have one on Marion yet, which maybe I should do. Take that back. I will have one on Marion up by the time this video goes live. So I will have tried to card to that one too. Again, they'll all be linked below if you don't have them. But Joseph, we have a Raider set, and is it Raider or Raptor? It's Raider for speed, right? Pretty sure it's Raider for speed. Get those mixed up. Yeah, we just want HP and speed on him, basically. His kit's very simple, but it's incredibly effective. He's got a speed buff for himself, which is great, because you also kind of want him to be fast. His A1, he puts a speed up on the slowest, not slowest, the ally with the highest attack, so this was really handy for someone like Zachary when my Zachary was slower. This doesn't play a huge part here. It does throw a speed up on someone, but doesn't play a huge part in what we're talking about for today. The A2 is huge. It's on a 2-turn cooldown, removes all negative effects from the target, and if it removes any debuffs, it gives them an extra turn. That's insane on a 2-turn cooldown. That is so good. Even though it's single target, like of course an AoE cleanse in theory would be better, but this being on a 2-turn cooldown, he's constantly cleansing, constantly pumping out bonus turns. Sometimes he uses it on himself and it just gets the cooldown right back around because of his bonus turn. Absolute insane skill, so good. And then here we've got offense buff and defense buff. So this buffs up your survivability. It increases the damage that your champs are going to do. And then for someone like Charles, who does bonus true damage based on his defense, this buffs his damage as well. So you're adding protection and damage to literally everyone on the team, because you've got attack damage or you've got defense damage, right? Usually that's what's going out. Sometimes you got max HP damage, but for the most part, this covers all your damage dealers. So he's buffing all your damage, increasing your survivability. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Absolutely insane. Get his speed up a little bit, get his HP up high. You literally don't have to worry about anything else on him for right now anyway. Later on that'll change, but for now, that's all you need. And then Charles. Charles was the first champ I think I 6-starred on this account, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he was the first champ I ever did an elite guide on. Charles is ridiculous. Vanguard sets are gonna be your friend here. And if I could, I would have him on full Vanguard, but I want his focus up. So I tried to get him on a Raptor set. So we've ended up kind of breaking it up a little bit. Oddly enough, this is the best collection of stats I can get for him, at least last time I checked. Maybe now I could do it. So you could go mostly Vanguard and a Raptor set for a little bit of focus. You can go full Vanguard if you want to try to go focus on the amulet. Basically what you want to do is shoot his defense way up, and you do want a reliable amount of focus on him, because he's got an A1 taunt that is just so clutch. It is so good for locking down enemies. Sometimes you can take him in somewhere and turn off his abilities and just let him taunt with his A1 to lock whoever it is you're fighting down, and they'll literally never get to do anything with their A1. It is an incredibly reliable taunt if you get to focus on him. Obviously, it's a 100% chance to proc, which means it's relying on focus. So very, very handy. Very, very handy. All of his attacks when he's ascended do bonus true damage equal to 50% of his defense. So again, the defense buff from Joshua is huge here. Joshua or Joseph? These names, dude. Joseph. Is there a Joshua in the game yet? I'm sure there's one coming if there's not. I was gonna say Kyle is a joke, and then I remembered there's also a Kyle. Anyway, the buff from Joseph, it buffs his defense. He stacks rage when he gets hit, which ups his defense as well. So the longer the fight goes on, the more his damage is going to ramp up. And then the ult, he does a pretty big hit and then puts a shield on himself that scales based on his defense. And I've never seen this not fill his health bar up. I've done this with him when it seems like he's at 1 HP and it fills his health bar all the way up with shield. It scales so hard based on his defense that he will be very well protected when the shield goes up. So he's got protection built in. He's got a lot of good damage output. The longer the fight goes on, the more damage he does, the harder he gets to kill. Just an excellent champ, man. Again, a much stronger champ than you might think he is. Just looking at him, you might look at him and think, yeah, that seems pretty decent. He is so absurdly strong for an elite. Arguably, I would say top 3 elites in the game, and that's not even debatable. there's a case to be made probably for the best elite, honestly. Just a ridiculous champ. So that's the team. That's a quick look at how they're geared, what you would do with them if you wanted to try to run this yourself. And again, I'll have guides. By the time this video comes out, I'll have guides up for every one of these champs if you want to go check it out and hear a more in-depth breakdown and see them in action in some other places in the game. But now we're just going to let the Void Tower 100 run, full auto run play. And that's going to do it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this was fun. I hope it was helpful, if nothing else. And hit the like button and stuff. Subscribe if you want to see more of what I'm doing. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a good one. And I'll see you later.